The Texas Porch, Texas talk with a touch of Mitch.
Sports.
Yes, indeedy. The gang is all here. The core four, our season 2 finale. We asked the daring question exactly: how un-Texan are you? We'll explain in a bit. Make sure you check out our the Texas Porch Facebook and the Texas Porch YouTube pages, which we are streaming live now. Also on the Twitter, the Angry Bird. And you can check us out archived on the Mitch Design, the TexasPorch.com. I am JP Heath. Joining us, the Core 4, as I said tonight, preparing for the Ice Mageddon, Mitch and Paul up in the Metro Mess. How we doing, gents? Y'all got the ice scrapers out? You ready to go?
Ready to shut it down, baby. Ready to shut it down.
Yes, sir. I'm in my jammies, and I plan to stay that way for as long as possible over the next 24 to 48 hours.
Ending season 2, and I think that's the first time jammies has been uttered on the.
There are definitely some pajama Zoom time conference calls in my near future.
Okay. So I take it y'all are both at home tomorrow.
Staying at home.
Soon.
Yes, sir. Thursday and Friday have been knocked out for my school district. So
can't risk it, man. Can't risk it.
That's right.
Too dangerous. Too dangerous.
Too dangerous. Let's call it. Let's call it not only for tomorrow, but for the next day. You know what? While we're at it, let's call it for Monday.
Why not? You can do it. This age, we can work from home. All right, guys, I know you do not recognize the guy in the upper corner. That is a freshly shavened Joshua, don't call him Harvard, off a recent trip to the third-rate taco joint. Josh?
Yeah, I was there. You didn't join me. You said you're coming up here, and then you didn't come here. So I had gotten the coupons already, and so I just sat there at the third-rate taco joint and cried. Fortunately, nobody was there like usual. So just had to, it was very sad. And I got all shaved for you because you were coming here. And then you texted and you're like, nope, not coming. Like, well, I guess that's how it goes.
A lot of stuff happening in the heat sphere. I just had to cancel it at the last moment. Y'all just don't worry about that. But
I was wondering, JP sent me a couple winky texts and then had something about Josh in there. I guess that's what it was about. So I guess that was well planned.
Hey, speaking of the tension between three of us, Paul, you can join in on this too. And maybe you'll be the tire or the landslide giver. What? So tension on the show tonight with the power of the dog. Josh hated it. Mitch and I loved it. We went to a non-Texan themed Netflix movie. So 30 seconds to each. Why you think what you do. And Paul, have you seen this first off?
I'll add it to my list, but no, I have not seen it.
Not Texas movie, but a work of art.
Definitely.
Josh, 30 seconds, Josh, debate style.
I don't think I need 30 seconds. It's just 30 seconds. Or it was 2 hours of nothing happening, and then it ended. Like I don't know. You had, maybe the problem is you had promoted it to me, and so my expectations going in were either too high or too low. And then later I found out Mitch liked it, so then all my suspicions were confirmed that I was correct that the movie was terrible and nobody should actually watch it. But okay, there. I think I did it in about 20 seconds.
Okay. Mitch, you're arguing for team power of the dog. The power.
Yeah, first of all, lots of ad hominem low attacks in that side of the table. So I'll just let that go. No, I mean first of all, it's a very slow burn movie. It's just it's just one of those really slow movies and kind of a character type, quiet, little mysterious. So I kind of understand people who don't like it, especially people who probably just watch for entertainment, like Josh. He doesn't like, to critically,
Yeah, doesn't like to think in movies.
Yeah, just doesn't like to think. He just,
Maybe I'll get shots from two of y'all.
Well, one of those is an inside joke from Dr. Duchovny. I once was like you, Josh. I did not like to think in movies.
JP was, just real quick, so we were in the same film class in college, and I think this is our senior year probably. And we're in this film class, and JP was like the first student recognized as being in the category of people who just watch movies for entertainment. So the rest of the entire semester, he would always, when he referred to watching, just to escape, basically escapism shows, he would always reference, like JP. You remember, he just watches to escape. He doesn't like to really think during movies. It was
so long ago. I was
so great.
John back then. I think I was John. That's
a short stint as something other than PJ.
That was one of the highlights of my JP bashing career.
Yeah, and Mitch loved it because it made me the center of attention, getting dogpiled on the whole semester by the great Dr. Duchovny. So, all right, as you may guess by the title of the episode, how un-Texan are you? I've been wanting to do this for a while, and the big man about to get busy. The big man, I guess, about to get busy. And I thought this is a great bookmark to stop, add a few things, improve, and do some new stuff with the show. Season 3 will be coming up at a time to be announced. What could possibly be in store? No one really.
Are you going to do it like Game of Thrones, where season 3 comes like a year and a half after season 2 ends?
You have no idea. You have no idea how much that.
Just know that option's on the table.
No, I was thinking of Texas Independence Day. So waiting a little bit less than a month. But as you all know, things are working behind the scenes. Maybe that'll come later. Maybe that'll come sooner. Who knows? But so the nitty-gritty of the show tonight, the only topic of discussion here in this season finale is how un-Texan are you? And basically things you have not done or seen or experienced that most people in and out of the state of Texas would assume that you have done. So I've got my list. Josh is just hearing of this topic right now. So Mitch, Paul, I don't mind going first, but I thought I'd be a gentlemanly host. What do you think? You want to go first, Paul? Mitch, duke it out?
Sure, I'll go first.
Okay. Mr. Tejas.
So my first thing that I thought of, and I texted you this earlier, was the Pat Green song. You ain't met my Texas yet. But so, you go through that song and it's entertaining. It's nice to check off some of those lists. If you're not familiar with the song, you can look it up. But it's just running down all the common things that, a lot of Texans consider to be solid Texas. And some of it's a little self-serving for Mr. Pat Green, but he mentions the Houston Rodeo. Never been to the Houston Rodeo. Think that'd be cool. I think that he mentions going to a Pat Green show. Never seen Pat live, actually. So I think that'd be cool. I know. Haven't seen Willie either.
And by the way, everybody chime in when you want to or not. Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, so those are two of the ones that kind of popped up first. Possum Kingdom Lake, which is kind of a popular Metroplex people go see it destination, but I haven't ever been there. I think that'd be cool. And the song mentions fireworks on PK. That'd be kind of cool. Haven't done that either. Other than that, San Antonio Rodeo is probably the other one that pops up in that song. But man, I was trying to think, until we took our Big Bend trip, that was the only area in Texas I'd not been to. Mm-hmm. So we all kind of experienced that for the first time. But yeah, and RIP Edna. So
very much, you got me with that one. Would you like to hear some lyrics of My Texas? By the way, by Josh Abbott Band. But
Josh Abbott, of course. Yeah, sorry.
He is. I should have known that, but he is featured on it.
Yes.
If you haven't climbed up to Enchanted Rock, drank a cold shiner down in Lukenbach, taking your baby to the Riverwalk, then you ain't met my Texas yet. If you haven't floated down the old Frio, heard red dirt music on your radio, eating Coopers down in Llano, then you ain't met my Texas yet. What do you think so far?
You got to keep that accent up like the entire show.
Yeah.
Let's see. I already lost my place. Okay, he repeats it. If you never caught a trout down in Port A, heard the words to Corpus Christi Bay, never seen fireworks on PK, Paul's reference. Then you ain't met my Texas yet.
Can you sing this, please?
You're the guitar guy. You probably got it back there. Sorry to interrupt, Paul. I had to. Do you have any more, Paul? I didn't want to totally grab.
No, you're good. I couldn't really think of anything else. I mean, travel-wise, I've been to everywhere but El Paso, basically. I mean, I haven't been that far out. We didn't venture that far. But I've been to just about every corner of Texas, and I mean, I haven't done it all, but
That is bragging right there.
it is, yes, sir. Dang right, boy. Tell you what.
Haven't had a kolache when you go through West. Never heard of a Larry Joe Taylor Fest. Think polished pop country crap sounds the best. Then you ain't met my Texas yet.
Wow.
How are we doing so far, Josh? Have you done all these?
I'm gonna name this character here.
Man, I already know I'm the least Texan out of
Yeah,
everybody. Probably. I guess maybe you can compete with me, but yeah. Whenever I saw this topic, I was like, man, I'm not very Texan, despite living in Texas my entire life.
So at least it's a finale. It's buried in the rest of the season, because he could have introduced the entire podcast with divulging the fact that none of his on-air people actually are Texan. So well arranged.
Hey, I know what I'm doing sometimes. Sometimes it works out. If you haven't been to the Fort Worth Stock Show, sang along with Corey Morrow, you ain't seen a hill country sunset, then you ain't met my Texas yet. You say you haven't hiked through Big Bend? Had your hair blown back by a Lubbock wind? Been somewhere where they call you friend? Then you ain't met my Texas yet. You haven't been to the San Antonio Rodeo, sang Everclear at a Krieger show. Paul, you haven't done this next one. If you ain't seen an El Paso sunset, well, my friend, I added that. Then you ain't met my Texas yet. No, you ain't met my Texas yet.
Well done.
Nice job.
Nice dramatic reading.
All right, Paul.
Snaps.
You text that, and then I thought I was going to play it. Probably can't do it with the book and YouTube, our massive audience on the book and YouTube crowd. So on that checklist, you're saying you're about 50-50? Because I know you've done a few of those, P. Diddy.
Yeah, about that, something like that.
Okay.
It's kind of like a little Texas bucket list, I guess, if you had to put it together, according to Mr. Abbott.
Been to Fort Worth Stock Show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. You've been to Lubbock ish. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing all that.
Served 6 months out there. Yeah.
You've heard the words to Corpus Christi Bay, I'm sure. You pass the Josh Abbott band test.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. I'll take 50%. That's good.
Mitch, you want to go next, or can I ramrod in here, or do you want to go? I don't mind at all.
Some of those. So whenever you first posed this topic, I was thinking, well, this is going to make me look bad, because I've never identified like as, kind of the country folk, prototypical, Texan cowboy-ish type deal. Never liked, the whole country boots craze that happened when we were in middle school. That I was down on that country music I wasn't really a fan of when I was a kid. But then I started kind of looking up, some of these things to do if you're Texan. And I'd say I'm at least 50-50. And some of the stuff that Josh Abbott band, rolls off, I'm pretty good there too. So, I've never done.
Read it again. Should I go again?
Yeah. Can you repeat all that?
Start from the top.
We went to Big Bend. I don't know that we hiked to, the South Rim, but we went to Big Bend. I've never been to Houston or San Antonio Rodeo, although I have been to the Mesquite Rodeo, which
been to a rodeo. That's a must for any Texan, I would say.
That's pretty Texan, yeah. Possum Kingdom Lake, that's a negative. Now, these two, so Palo Duro Canyon and Enchanted Rock, I haven't done either of those, and those are the next two on on my checklist because I'd love to do some hiking there. But all those other ones, Fort Worth Stock Show and Kalachi's in West and Big Bend and Terlingua. I was thinking Bats under the Congress Ave Bridge.
That's a good one. I've never done. Yeah, I guess I've seen them, but yeah, okay.
I've done all that. Pat Green live, Willie Nelson live. Heck, I even got to see Nolan Ryan's Bloody Lip game in person.
Right.
Oh,
in
wow.
person. So that's kind of a trump card, yeah?
For sure.
Huge.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So
I see what you're doing there, though. No, I think the earlier part of what you're saying, that's the whole point of this, is if somebody un-Texan would, I guess there's a word for that, not from Texas, a series of words. Great with my vocabulary, my state school education. I mean, nothing really typifies any Texan really, but these stereotypes are still there that I'm sure some people out there are probably 1 million people in this country that think we're all cowboys, we ride horses, we all carry guns everywhere. It's probably a more popular one, cliche that people think, a trope that people think these days. But so good. Any others, Mitcher?
no, I think that's it. I mean, I'm sure there are others that I'm missing, but I also, I was thinking, well, I haven't done my Texan responsibility with barbecue. I mean, I'll eat barbecue. I like barbecue, but I haven't really gone on a hunt to get all the important ones.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, we had some good barbecue on our Texas trip a few years ago, and of course I've had barbecue from time to time. The spare rib in Greenville, can't get any more Texas barbecue than that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sure.
So you get the flow of this, Josh. You see where we're going.
I get it. And I'm telling you, my list is going to be awful compared to any of yours because I've listed like 2 or 3 of these things that I've done, and some of them where I was like 12. So do you want me to go or do you want to go? Yeah. I mean, if you want to do sports things, I've done pretty much most of that, but country stuff, not so much me. I've done Enchanted Rock. I did that when I was like 12. So there wasn't any beer involved because it was a school field trip.
That's a long field trip.
Yeah, we spent a few days out there. That was pretty fun. That was actually, I accidentally stepped on a rattlesnake on that field trip.
Whoa.
We were out there somewhere. I didn't see it, and apparently it was sick because it didn't do anything. But I stepped on it, and then they looked behind me and said, "Hey, you just stepped on a snake," and I looked like a badass or something, but it was totally accidental. Like, what rational person is going to do that? I mean,
that totally raised your Texan score. So put that in the win column.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that, Riverwalk, I've been there. Pretty much anything sports related, I've been some of it, but no, I hadn't been to Pat Green. I hadn't been to any live concerts pretty much involving any kind of country singer. I'm assuming like the only country concert I've ever been to was Shania Twain, and that was because it was after a Cowboys game. So did y'all hear the points? Did y'all hear the points drop?
Yeah.
She looked pretty good though. I mean, the music was not
Terrible.
so good. Her in a cowboy outfit was.
Hey, I've got a sports one for you, Josh, that you haven't done. I don't think you've ever been to an Aggie home game. Probably.
I've been on the field at an Aggie home game. We used to have, we had plenty of players from Lufkin where I work that were on there. Reggie McNeil, who was
but like in the stands, like you were covering them. But did you go to an Aggie game and somebody trying to grab you, rock and sway? And all that?
Yeah, that was. Hopefully, my mom's not watching this story. There was one night where I went, and it was all my friends were Aggies, so we went. It might have had a few beverages the night before, and they were playing. I mean, we were up till probably 3 a.m. They were playing Baylor at 11 o'clock in the next morning, and so I was struggling already. And then they started that swaying thing. And man, I thought I was going to lose it. But
the stadium's moving. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I got out of there. Like they were all on the bleachers, so I had to get down so I wasn't swaying. So yeah, I mean, I've probably been to more Aggie games than Longhorn games, despite my fandom. But
okay, never mind.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been on the field of a Longhorn Aggie game back whenever Lufkin had some guys there. So my sports stuff is not bad. We went to an All-Star game at Minute Maid Park.
Yeah.
We went to a Super Bowl at
Yep.
NRG. I mean, that's stuff that both of us have. So I guess I've got some points for Texas, but in terms of what people in the outside world think of Texas, of riding horses and listening to country music and Texas music and anything, sorely lacking in that. Like I rank in the bottom 4 of my own family here, so
That's okay.
that's not something to really brag about.
We still love you. At least Mitch doesn't, but we still accept you anyway. All right. Since this is what the people have come for, since it's kind of my podcast and all, here is my list in a particular order, because this is the one that's hung with me since before we've done the podcast. Past 2 years ago. Okay. I have never been to the state fair.
What?
How
I haven't
is
either.
that possible?
Okay. Josh, where you at? Thank you.
Well, but
I'll be here right
live
here
an
to
hour
support
from
everything
Dallas.
that every Texan should have done that they haven't. That's
That's just
So-
not something y'all just didn't do that when you were a kid.
I have been to the North Dakota State Fair in Minot like 3 or 4 times, but never went to the state fair. Called a couple games for the Harvard of Hunt County when we played there. I guess that would have been 08 and 09, but never actually been to the fair. Never had a Fletcher's Corny Dog.
Wow.
On
Man.
the sports theme, Josh, to tie in with you, I've never been to obviously the Texas OU game either, but we've had flirtations and dalliances with that in the past. So that's my first one. Ever been to the state
Wow.
fair. I'm sorry.
Are you going to rename this the North Dakota Porch?
I think we're gonna have to.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think that's my worst one. But half
Wow.
of us have been there, half of us haven't, and I've not checked. Okay. Anybody wants to comment, by the way, you can comment.
Wait,
So-
Josh, you haven't been to the state fair either?
I haven't been to the state fair. I went to the Cotton Bowl game, but I didn't go to the Texas OU game. Texas is playing Arkansas. I think it was the Y2K year, and we went to the Cotton Bowl. So I got that part, but yeah, I've never been to the state fair.
Wow.
All right, this I'm not Catholic, but this has to be what confession is like, because I've just confessed something that's been on my Texas soul forever. And I want to go. It's not like I have said, "Oh, I'm not going to the fair." It's not that. It's just, Mitch,
I mean,
I've got the streak, and why break it? You know, I've
Okay.
made almost
this is the easiest Texas Porch road trip we could put together. So we got to make that happen. That's got to be part of the next season.
Is it that great though?
Well, we can debate whether or not it's overrated on the show, but I mean, it's a requirement.
Okay. Okay, here's another one. And Sean on Twitter told me earlier today when I put the question out there, like on the Josh Abbott band song, he's never floated the Frio River. And that's something I had never done either. And I have not floated any river, gentlemen.
Oh.
Man, these are some deep cuts. Never floated the Guadalupe, huh?
I've been on Guadalupe in Austin, but never floated the Guadalupe. No.
I floated the Guadalupe.
See?
There was a Texas road trip in there with my sister at one point where
There you go.
we did that, and we watched Kurt Schilling and Randy Johnson pitch against the Astros. That's more Texas than none of those guys are Texas.
All right.
Wow, man.
Yeah, I've floated a little bit on the Frio, but I've never done like the thing in New Braunfels and all that. I've been to what's the Schlitterbahn? I've done that, but I haven't done
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Never been there either. Sorry.
Wow.
Where's the Frio at? I'm asking.
Central Texas, down by Lakey, and you don't know where these towns are either, but it's near. I don't know. I'd have to pull up a official Texas travel map for you, sir.
Uvalde County.
There you go.
So San Antonio-ish area.
Never,
We're all
never done the Frio River either.
okay.
It's
But I've
cold.
done the Guadalupe. That
Yeah, because everybody's done that.
I haven't done that one.
Okay. Are you sitting down for this next one?
I mean, could it be worse?
There are a couple. There are a few on there. Okay. This list isn't even halfway over. I have never hunted except for squirrel hunting from my front porch with a buddy from church with a single shot 410.
So
I
your
thought
instincts are there, you're saying.
Yeah.
You say what?
Your instincts are there.
Yeah. I was a dead shot. Those squirrels never came back. That's a whole other story. They were scared of the Heath house. That's when we lived out in the country right after we got married. So obviously Mr. Tejas has, but two of my other besties, I think, are on this list that have been hunted.
I have never hunted. Now,
It's not for everybody.
if inhumanely shooting and terrorizing animals in your childhood counts, then I've probably, hunted a little bit with a slingshot and whatnot. But
Okay.
no, never actually done that.
There's a wonder you're not a serial killer somehow by the stuff I knew you did as a kid. But
Yeah.
Josh?
Oh, you know me.
Bambi away?
I've never hunted. I went to the deer leases with my dad back when I was little, but
Okay.
I was in a deer stand, but I didn't have a gun. I've shot a gun before, but no, that's hunting.
You've been an
and-
accomplice before.
hunting by my I don't think hunting by my. I think it's got to be hunting by
Association.
myself to count.
I do want to go boar hunting, so I will use the power of the podcast. And the father-in-law and the brother-in-law, they go boar hunting all the time. It's open season, of course, and I would love to go if someone can tell me how to do it and kind of give me the gun, the ammo, the clothes.
Aim you in the right direction.
But man,
So-
that scares me. The stories I've heard and they tell, I like hearing, like I'll be at with some high school football coaches. We used to have these Christmas parties. I guess they'll still have them, but hearing those, and you too, Paul, you you got to have your S together to be hunting. It's not just the power of the gun, but
I had a request this week for somebody that wants to helicopter hunt hogs on our land in Commerce.
that is awesome.
And I said, only if I can tag along.
Well,
So that has not happened yet, but we'll see.
so you're considering it.
I'm considering it. As long as the hogs are gone off the land, that's what matters. And the cattle that are valuable and reside there, I'm glad they're, as long as they're in not in harm's way. So
This is a whole other episode, but I'd be curious because I know the land. We walked it.
mhm.
I was like, hey, we can't officially be friends until you show me this land somehow I'd never seen in our decades of friendship.
I guess we're not friends.
So
Anytime.
the helicopter can just lower and shoot, or because that area doesn't seem like it's totally out in the country, but it kind of, not to out you to the
It puts them on the run, so you can see them
Okay.
from above. You don't have to sneak up on them. Well, I mean, kind of, but they only have so far to go.
okay.
Let's just say, if I understand correctly, the weaponry used outguns the hogs. So,
Okay.
and then of course, if you can chase them from the air, and there's not a lot of brush or trees on the land, so they don't have very far to go. So
That sounds awesome.
we'll see. Yeah, live Texas Porch from the chopper one day, maybe.
Man, that would be really cool. All right, here's my next one. I don't think I've ever done this. Okay. This is number 4 on my list of the most un-Texan that I am. Something. Okay. I have never been camping in Texas. I've been camping,
What?
not in Texas.
My goodness gracious! How?
If you don't count the time I stayed, remember that tree house we had in my backyard? I tried to stay there one night. I don't know if it was Chris Harris or Cody Aiken. but my dad caught us. We went to wrap somebody's house. It might have been a party at Honik's house. I think it was
What a rebel.
wrapping Honik's house, actually. I missed the other story. We'll go for another time, but we're going to go wrap Honik's house. I was like 15 years old. And we told my dad I was going to camp out in the tree house. And I got busted, and that's the maddest he'd ever been at. As older than 9, the maddest he'd ever been at me.
Nice.
I think we wrapped the house, though. It's a pretty good wrap.
Nice.
All right.
The good old days of wrapping houses.
The Miss Rudolph story, too, would be a good story sometime. Wrapped Miss Rudolph's house, where Donnie Gordon ripped up his knee. Shouldn't laugh at it, but
right. That's right.
Willie Ford had the big spotlight. He was shining on us, and we escaped. Pretty cool. Pretty stealth. Josh, you ever been camping in Texas?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, I went camping. I mean, probably after high school, I haven't been. I've never been on my own. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard not to go camping at some point, just if you're friends with people. Like,
what are you, like Mr. Outdoors? Who just goes camping besides Paul?
no, I tagged along with my friends. That's all I'm saying. I
Lots
tagged
of
along with my
people do
friends. I
that.
had nothing to do with it, but I was there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even like an outdoorsman. I it certainly wasn't as a kid, and I've been camping dozens of times. I mean, just
That is a brag right there.
who hasn't?
Me.
JP.
Man.
Not even Cub Scouts?
I
Cub
went
Scout JP?
to Cub Scouts. We went to Camp Dirks and went to Mom and Me and Dad and Lad.
That's
We did
camping.
that. But that was in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
So I've
Okay,
been
I got you.
camping, but this is a Texas show on Texas soil. I've never camped unless you count the treehouse the night we wrapped Jennifer Honig's house.
Well, that sounds like another Texas Porch, event right there. So
Oh, I've got ideas. I've got
Okay.
ideas.
all
I've got gear. So let's go. Let's make this happen.
All right. The next ones I don't think are too crazy. I've never watched all of King of the Hill. I just started watching it. It is genius. And I'd seen scattered like segments over the years, but even before this show was planned, I felt bad. I never watched King of the Hill, and we got the Hulu, and I think I'm going to try to rip through some of that.
never seen an episode.
Yeah.
I've seen a few.
That's the first thing that Mitch and I have ever agreed on.
The first thing ever. Okay.
We've been looking for that common ground for a while. But
It's also
That's
the
it.
last thing.
true.
All right. Are you sitting down? Josh, you sitting down?
No, I've been standing up this whole time.
I was gonna say I hope so, because man, you fall over.
This is a combo. I've never read. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I've never read or watched Lonesome Dove.
Well, I think we watched that in school. I think we watched that in drama class.
When Mr. Biggs came and spoke to our theater arts class in high school, he was in it, right?
Yeah, I think we watched it then actually. But I don't know that I've seen it outside of that, and I haven't read it also.
Okay.
I definitely haven't read it. I don't.
I'm gonna let you slide on that one.
But do I get more points deducted because I work at the school Larry McMurtry went to, and he won the Pulitzer Prize for the book? So I don't.
I mean, I guess, but you basically don't have any anyway, so you're just adding to nothing.
We're going to the negative scale.
Yeah. Okay.
And so some honorable mentions. That's my top 5. Never been to the state fair. Never floated a river. Never hunted, except for the squirrels off my front porch one time with the single shot 410. And I like saying that because of the road goes on forever. I mean, that's cool. Never been camping in Texas. I've never watched all of King of the Hill or even read or watched Lonesome Dove. So my honorable mentions, you've already mentioned, Mitch. I never went to Palo Duro Canyon. So this is kind of reversed list of what you want to do. I really want to go road trip, Palo Duro Canyon.
That'd be fun.
I've never been to ACL or the brain
What's
fart.
ACL?
Austin city limits, or the what's the other one that's in Austin? South by Southwest.
Oh,
yeah.
So I've never been, and this may shock you. I'm not a festival guy. I've never
I
been
haven't
to
either,
any.
actually.
Paul, you okay? Can I tell you something?
sure. Go ahead.
I've never been to a barbecue festival or like what we might go to at a yet to be recorded or discussed podcast. I've
I
never
haven't
been.
either, so
Oh, okay. Okay.
this would be my first. Yeah.
Okay. So that's okay. I've never been to Cadillac Ranch.
I've been there.
Amarillo?
Yeah.
Is that the one where they're all in the vertical?
Yeah, they're
Mhm.
and the other Amarillo, whatever that steak place is out there, the Big Texan.
Mhm.
I've never tried that, but I have been there.
I've eaten there.
Yeah,
Probably not. It's way overrated if I remember correctly.
I kind of agree with you.
We took a bunch of
We'd like
basketball
to thank our new
players.
sponsor here.
Can you eat the big steak? Come on in. And we took a group of basketball gentlemen mostly from the inner city, other parts of the U.S. in there. They were a little bit of fish out of water, but yeah, it wasn't that great.
All right, here's one that by the way was courtesy of Mrs. the Texas Porch. But Lisa also had a good one here. She said, where am I at? Where's my cord? She said, I've never downloaded a Beyonce song, which I don't know how she knew that. So
Wait a minute. By download, like is like a play on Spotify? That's a download, right?
I
it
would
counts
think
now,
that
right?
it would have to be like in your phone
Okay.
on a plane. You could play it.
Okay, gotcha. That's funny.
Or
Kind
it's
of
not
random.
like on any playlist of yours, like working out to this.
I'm sad to say I've played that and danced to it way too many times with my daughters.
That's good.
Maybe at a 20-year reunion too. That might have happened if I remember correctly.
I missed that one.
Deep into the
Probably
evening.
did. Yeah.
All right. I do have this Texans song on my list. She's from Houston. Paul, name that artist.
I'm clueless. I got nothing.
I can sing this one if we're doing karaoke.
That needs to happen too. Maybe at the Big Texan while we're going to see the Cadillac Ranch and Palo Duro Canyon, you need to karaoke this song.
It is so good. I can't. It's an earworm to me. And we were on our North Dakota trip a couple years ago. I heard it and I turned. I said, "What song is this?" I really like it.
Who is this?
I think that made its debut. That's the second time that song has been played, Josh. We did a Vikings Cowboys podcast one time. They're probably losing to the Vikings, but
break my heart. Oh, that breaks my heart.
Anyway,
Who is that? You know, fill us in.
Lizzo, come on.
Oh, congrats to her and her family. I mean, yeah.
Ain't worried about a ring on my finger, so you can.
You've never heard that song?
It sounds a little familiar, but I could not have told you to save my life who it was.
Okay, I can't play too much of it, or they'll pay
Very
me.
little.
All right.
That went sideways.
This last one, Paul.
I'm ready.
All right, it's got to be me and him. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't like Topo Chico.
Not for everybody. Oh. I mean, you got to have a taste for it. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
We'd like to welcome our new sponsor.
Topo Chico. It's spicy.
No, it's all right, but I don't No, I just don't like it.
I don't drink it all the time.
All right.
Last time I did, I think, was on the porch. So there you go.
Woo! That was fun. Josh, do you have any others? Originally, I was going to have you go after me, but any of the other ones that I said you want to contribute, finish us off here?
I don't know. You just went off the rails with Beyonce and whatever that one was. I'm gonna venture to say no.
Okay. So you have watched Lonesome Dove, King of the Hill. You've been camping. You did say that. You've never hunted. You told me that. You said you floated, right? And you've never been to the state fair. So
Right. Yeah. But King of the Hill and Lonesome Dove never seen, read, even started any of that. So no, I haven't.
all right.
We've all been to the Alamo, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
At least there's that.
here's my humble brag. I drag raced segways in front of the Alamo one time. So there you go.
Man, you just owned the place, didn't you?
That's it. Mic drop.
Say my name.
Take that, Davy Crockett.
I'm going to spend the next week or two trying to get cooler.
That would be an honorable mention for me. I've never been, speaking of Texas landmarks, I've driven by it a few times, which is not a great brag, but the Washington on the Brazos, birthplace of Texas. So I've wanted to go there, and I've never been to Gonzales either, old Cannon. Again, not a great brag because millions of people have driven down I-10, but I've driven by the road that goes to it. But so.
Well, so what do you think? How Texan is the Texas Porch? On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you think?
Very deep. I mean, I'm biased, but I'd say 10.
Okay.
I don't live up to the standards of others, Mitch. I live up to my own.
I feel like a pretty, I don't know, like a hard 7.
Okay.
After our big list tonight, yeah.
Yeah, a couple wins, couple losses.
Yeah.
But you figure in, I mean, Kevin's barely Texan. He kind of slips in. Lamar, honorable mention, hasn't been on in 2 years. So
Who's Lamar?
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. I made myself laugh. Y'all made me laugh. It was fun.
It's good times.
Good times. Good times.
Any season 2 memories out of the 9 shows that we did? Or
Hey, you had a good year of cowboy breakdowns.
I did.
Very nice
Thank you. Is the other.
breakdown year.
I thought we found our voice with the Cowboys this year. These stupid Cowboys.
Yeah.
Kudos to you guys for on those. Those were good.
Yeah. Josh, any lasting season 2 memories besides always making excuses for Dak Prescott and being a mouth puppet for Jerry Jones?
Have you gotten over this thing yet? Like, you're 40 something years old. Like, it happens. we'll do that therapy at the next Cowboys session. I lose track of which season, when the season started and stopped. So if I said anything, it would probably be from one of the other seasons. So it was all great.
I mean, I was just looking at the episode list, and the 2 that stood out to me were the sandwich episode.
That was season 2?
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in October.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Then that would be my yes. Okay.
It's titled Sandwiches and Storage Units.
That was good.
And then the other entertaining episode was Buffer Treadmill.
The graphic of this?
Yes. Yeah. The graphic is JP in his obnoxious orange vest.
Damn it, you agree with Josh on that too.
with a cowboy hat, a treadmill with a Starbucks cup sitting on top of it.
All right, I'm sharing my screen. Can I go big screen? Can I do something on the fly?
Hey, it's Josh.
Big Josh.
I was gonna say I don't know what this is supposed to do.
I thought I could share my screen. Don't pay attention. Well, let me X out those tabs. I don't want to see the.
Those were the highlights. if you're listening and you want to watch, you want to listen to season 2, I say don't listen to any episodes except for those 2.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. All right. Here is the oh gosh, what's going on? All right, here's the you can tell I'm a technology expert.
You're a wizard.
Totally.
So there's the can y'all see that?
Yes.
So for those that are still watching, there's
Look
the
at this
tab.
live technology.
Nice.
And I think I'm glad you said buffer treadmill is season 2 because I think about that all the time when I go and people aren't giving me my buffer treadmill. I forget who I told, but recently I just got off the treadmill and just walked out the door because somebody didn't give me my buffer treadmill. And I forget why the cup of coffee's on there, though. Why did that one?
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing's more Texas than Starbucks.
That's right.
The sandwiches one, yes. If I had to pick 1 and 1A, of course they're all good. You know, it's like a favorite kid. You can't just
I'm going to nominate Sandwiches and Storage Units as one of the best shows of seasons 1 and 2, and one of the best episode titles.
Okay.
So let the committee know.
Unique for sure.
Paul, you have a favorite one? I don't know if you said that already.
Yeah, no, I think Sandwiches or just, I mean, I can't remember which Cowboy game it was. Y'all had me rolling. I kept texting you things that one of you said. I think there was one that was Kevin and then one was Josh, and I don't remember now off the top of my head, but those kept me entertained. Even if I probably didn't even watch the Cowboy game, it was nice to
just
catch up.
Just head over there and watch Kevin as after a few drinks.
Yes.
We do need Kevin's all grown up and matured on us. We do need more Kevin in season 3.
Yeah.
For whatever we decide to do with this thing, we need more. We need more Kevin. But man, that about does it for me.
Good to see you, Paul. Good to see you, JP.
Yes, good to see y'all too.
Hey, it's good to see both of you guys too.
It's been fun. All 3 of us.
Josh, I'm coming for those tacos. Third rate taco joint near you. I'm taking my dogs to get groomed next Wednesday. So you open? I guess we can talk about it.
Now let's hash this out right now.
Yeah, more of an off-air topic, but I mean, do what you need to do, guys.
Oh, season 2, we loved you. We loved you. Confession great for the soul. I'm JP. That's Mitch. That's Josh. That's Paul. Twitter stuff, Facebook, YouTube plugs. Subscribe, help us out. The Mitch Design, the TexasPorch.com, all that good stuff. Adios. Have a good
Single shot, 410.
So how y'all doing?
Feel pretty good.
You forgot to hit record again, didn't you?